Mononofu Radio.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Mirai Susume. Yeah.
Yeah, I always forget the name of it. Yeah, that's like the first video I can remember watching, and I like the taiko drums, like just in general, not in that song. So when I was listening to it and the little drums go off, I'm like, yeah, listen to those things. And then I look and they're dancing, like clapping their hands to the beat of it and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Who are these people? And then kept clicking around. And then what was really funny was the one song, Marty Friedman does the guitar for it. I'm listening to it, and I'm like, this guitar solo sounds really familiar. I know this guitar. And I'm like, oh, it's because it's Marty Friedman. This makes so much more sense now. Because, I play guitar. I'm like a metalhead, so Marty Friedman's like one of my favorite guitar players. So it's like, holy crap, this guy's on board with him too. It's like, yeah. It was a good surprise to have him just show up out of nowhere in the middle of J-pop.
Are you surprised that Marty Friedman is collaborating with so many J-pop idols?
Yeah, it was confusing, and it was actually kind of refreshing. And it's funny because we're going to see Marty Friedman in like a couple weeks. He's coming to Ohio. I paid for the meet and greet thing where I can talk to him. The first thing I'm going to do is just thank him for getting on board with the J-pop stuff. Because, like, when I first started talking about this stuff, my friends are all like, you're an idiot. This stuff's terrible. I'm like, and I tried convincing him, like, listen to this stuff. Some of it, you can hear the metal, like, beats in the songs. It's just they're not super metal because they're poppy, but you can hear like the progressions, like these could totally be metal songs. And they're like, no, you're dumb. And then Marty Friedman shows up on YouTube one day with he's playing Heavy Rotation, the AKB48 song, and I'm like,
okay.
I'm like, what now? Marty Friedman's playing metal along all this stuff. I told you. So the first thing I want to do is thank him because it's like he essentially helped me prove to my friends, like, my point all along, because they didn't believe me. But then Marty Friedman does, and they're like, oh, I guess you were right. I'm like, yeah, kind of. I like watching, there's one of the versions of, like, when Momoiro Clover performed Mugen no Ai, the song Marty Friedman did. There's a video of him doing it live, and he just comes up out of nowhere and starts doing the solo in between all of them while they're dancing around him. And it's so funny because it's like he looks so out of place. He doesn't look like he belongs there, but it's so funny because he's just this tall white dude with his goofy hair playing guitar in the middle of him. But it's friggin' awesome. So I plan to thank him when we meet him in a couple weeks. Yeah, I paid extra so I could go meet him. You can get his autograph, I think a signed DVD, and you get to talk to him. And it specifically said you won't be rushed through. You'll be able to just stand there and hang out with the guy. So.
Oh my god, cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because he's a really interesting dude because he's not full of himself, and like his instructional videos for guitar are hilarious because the way he explains how to do stuff, like a lot of guitar guys, like the famous dudes, their instructional videos would be like, oh, they just start puking out music theory, and if you're just some kid like trying to learn how to play guitar, it's like I don't know what they just said. Where Marty Friedman, his advice is you just play this, and he's like, just keep messing with it till it sounds cool. And he'll show you an example of, like, he'll play a guitar chord and then play, like, a solo over it. And he's like, you can play it like this, and he'll play it a specific way. And he goes, but this sounds like crap. Don't do that. He's like, now if you do this, it sounds cool. So you want to sound cool, do that. He doesn't, like, get overly technical. He just tells you, hey, here's how you do stuff. Yeah, it's pretty.
Wow, but he came to Japan very early, right? In the early 80s, 90s?
Yeah, he came in the 80s with his
after he quit.
Him and No, he came in the 80s with him and this guy, Jason Becker, who he unfortunately has Lou Gehrig's disease. He can't really move now. They showed up in the 80s, and their band was called Cacophony. They showed up in Japan and became like guitar gods overnight because the way they play guitar just blew everyone's minds.
Yeah.
So, like, he was here in the 80s, and they practically invented the whole, like, shred metal guitar thing over there. But then, he came back here, and then he went back in the 90s after he left Megadeth. And I think he's been there ever since. I don't think he never came back. He just stayed there. But yeah, I want to ask him what he knows about, like, 80s J-pop, because I'd be curious. Like, there's one group, Saint 4. A lot of their songs, like, they just sound like metal music. So I want to see if he's ever heard it before or what he thinks of it. Yeah, they're the ones I keep posting that I want Momoiro Clover to cover, with the colorful outfits and the funny dancing. I think they could do it. But first they have to read my postcard. They never read my postcard.
Do I know the Saint 4? They're a 4-people group, right? Or they quite popular in the 80s?
They were popular for like a second, but they only had like a couple of songs, and they were only active for like I think 3 years, and then they kind of fizzled out. Which they were cool though, because the pink girl Noriko, she does like backflips. The one song when they come out, like they spin around and do their little gymnastic routine, but then the other two hold their hands out and she backflips off their hand, and then they start singing like immediately after, and it's like holy crap, they're doing backflips on stage. So it's like, that's why it's like, man, you know, Kanako could totally do this stuff. So that's why they need to get on top of that. I don't know why they won't. It seems like it's such an obvious fit for Momoiro Clover to jump in on covering Saint 4 songs and doing modernized versions of the dance.
Doing gymnastics or like some kind of tricks on stage, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they twirl around and stuff on stage. Kanako can probably do a backflip or something. They could figure it out. I'd like to see it. And, you know, Saint 4 was one of the first groups I can think of where they had, you know, every girl had a color and like a theme. Like Noriko was like, you know, she's the dramatic one, and then I like Saori, she's the fashionable one, and it's like they all have a thing. So it's like, it's totally what Momoiro Clover's doing. They can just go full on with the Saint 4 covers. I want to see him do it.
Can you tell me a little bit about your experience at AX when you met Momoiro Clover Z for the first time?
I didn't get to meet him because Anime Expo didn't tell us about the Day Zero event until like 30 seconds before it started. We had to fly all the way from Ohio, and I booked a thing to fly in the day of the concert, and then we stood in line for like 9 years because Anime Expo was so unorganized. But, you know, we got really close seats thanks to Locke over here. He was like, hey, here's your tickets. You're right by the stage. Thanks. So
he's a better organizer than the AA.
Oh, yeah. Next year, if they come back, he needs to do the collaborating. But while I was standing, my seat was like center stage. So at one point during the concert, they weren't singing, they were just like lining up to keep going. I'm jumping up and down like a total idiot, waving my arms around. I'm wearing that tiger suit, so I look like an idiot. And Kanako looks straight at me. And just you can see the smirk, like just probably trying not to laugh, because she's like, who is this frigging idiot in the crowd? What is he doing right now? Because like I was going nuts. Yeah, I think I caused permanent neck damage at that concert. It was awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
You were way up in the front, right?
Yeah, I think we were maybe like 20 feet from the stage, give or take. Like we were 3 rows from the pit. The pit was the special people. We were like the 3rd row back from the pit. So we were like practically as close as like possible besides the pit.
Well, so you were actually right next to the special people. You mean the members who went the special seat?
Oh yeah, like I was standing talking to a bunch of them. Like they were like right there. We could like talk to each other. We were that close. So
they could speak English just fine?
Not really, but I still try to talk to him, yeah. I was carrying a conversation with this guy, and I don't think he had any clue what I was saying to him. And he was talking to me, kind of, and then he just started speaking Japanese, and we just threw our arms up and kept jumping around. It was really funny. It was awesome. Like, it was totally worth going, even with all the disorganized stuff from Anime Expo. It was worth it for just the concert. It was great.
Was it exactly what you expected? Their music, their performance?
Yeah, but they didn't do some of the songs I wanted to hear. I was like, come on, just play all your songs. It's your first time here. Just blow through them all. We got time.
What was your favorite song? What is your favorite song from Momoiro Clover Z?
My favorite song, that's hard. It depends on my mood. I like Get Down. Get Down's good. They didn't play Get Down. I was very sad. You know, I like Mirai Bull's good. They didn't play that. They didn't play any of my. They played Mugen no Ai. That was good. I think I snapped my neck during that song. Like yeah, my favorite songs. Yeah, I like Get Down. 5 the Power. Yeah, I have too many favorites. It depends on my mood.
Like but it seems like the ones that you like are like mainly concerts. How do you say? Like they have a lot of major songs, singles, anime songs, but the songs that you like are not really their major songs, right? They're famous ones. They're popular ones.
Yeah.
outside of the fandom,
I
I guess.
weird ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently I picked all the weird ones.
No, those are actually really popular songs. Yeah.
Yeah, I like too. I can't pronounce it because I'm white.
Which one?
It's like Rado Senka, Rodo, however you say
Rodo
it.
Sanka, right? Rodo Sanka. Yeah.
Yeah, my
good
tongue
one.
refuses to do that. I can read it and type it, but when my mouth tries to say it, it doesn't come out. I really like that song. That's a really fun one. I think that was the first song that I decided was like my favorite song. Was that one? I think I listened to it on. You can go to YouTube, repeat, and it'll keep playing the same video over and over and over. I listened to it for 8 hours straight at work. It was on repeat, and it's like keep going. So it's like 8 hours of the same song.
Mononofu Radio.